The other one, and I guess the one that really made the controversy blow up with the handball
Yes,
thing was the
yes.
Tottenham Newcastle,
Right.
and Newcastle got the last minute
Equalizer.
penalty.
I mean, yeah, we don't like Tottenham, but guys,
Yeah,
guys, what are we doing here?
yeah. This whole handball thing is, I mean, it's hard to like. Okay, the new rule is pretty much that if the ball touches you and then like intent is sort of thrown out the window, it's a foul. Which, to me, I've always felt that that should have been the case because there is no true way to say what is intentional or not. Because okay, we can look at defenders every time, and then like some of them are going for like a tackle, and then sometimes like your body has to like be in a certain position when you're stretching out your leg. Your arms don't stay by your side when you're stretching out your leg. To
No,
block.
they don't. They don't.
And then the ball hits you, and then they'll say like, "Oh, it wasn't intentional." But you've also seen cases where like they say it's intentional and it's given. So either way,
It's just
there is always
inconsistency that
yeah. But
that's
like
in
I'm
the
trying to
interpretation.
no, but that's what I'm trying to get at is that like I always felt that like they should have followed like pretty much what they're trying to do right now, taking intent out of it and just say if the ball hits your hand when you're in this anywhere on the field, it's a foul. We stop the game because you're not meant to use your hands to play pretty much except for like running and stuff. Yeah, you can't put your hands out of the way here, but sorry, you were unlucky, it hit you. If we look at basketball, for example, the ball touches your leg. No one ever plans to like kick a ball in basketball. It's a foul. You stop. You do what you got to do.
Yeah, but that's not a. It doesn't lead to basically an infraction against another team in the sense that if the ball hits your leg in basketball, the other team doesn't automatically get free throws.
No,
I mean, depending on where they are, that
no,
doesn't happen.
I get what you're saying, but that's why the rules are different. That's what I know. Someone was saying that like maybe they should change it to like if it's a handball rather than it being a penalty, it should be an indirect free kick in the box.
Maybe that'll be better because
No, because like I feel like because some people are saying let's just go back to the old rules where all we did was just argue. I was like, no, it wasn't intentional. Because what argument can you make for intent except if you're in someone's brain? You can't.
that's
You can't
that's
make that.
why it's
Even because I've seen players like jump for a ball, and because it's headed for their face, out of instinct, they just put their hands up to block their face, and then they call that intentional. That was instinct. You were protecting yourself. I was like, so it's
there just has to be something that works for everyone that's sort of concrete because now it's going to just continue and continue and continue
It's
for
gonna
the entire season.
it's gonna be like that for the entire season
Because you could say it's down to because some of those situations might not be looked at VAR. And like the one in the Arsenal game, you didn't think it was a penalty. But some other referee could have interpreted it that way because it touched like part of his arm here.
yeah, but it was like by his bicep. It's a bit different when it's the forearm.
Yeah, but it could have been interpreted, right? Because it touched it, rolled a little bit, and then went off.
Yeah, that's why I said it's like if they were following the rule to law, I said like if it touches your hand at any time, it's a foul. Then there'd have been no argument. They're like, but it's just tiny. They would be like, it was a foul, no goal, no
That's
free
the
kick to
thing.
Arsenal.
There's the inconsistency.
Yeah, I know. And like that's where the human part comes in. And like there's nothing you can do to stop that. That's why I feel like the rules need to be as almost as airtight as possible, so that the only thing that people can say is like, well, it was this person's opinion. Not that we can go back to the rule and say, oh no, I'm interpreting the rule this way, and he's interpreting the rule another way.
Well, it seems like that's what keeps happening, especially in English football. It's all about who is interpreting what in what way.
Yeah, because like
and it's just very
like
annoying.
other leagues don't have this issues as much as the Premier League.
I
Like
don't
I don't know, it's like they love drama in the Premier League.
It's like they started to make the VAR better. Okay, now referees can go to the monitors. They can check out the situations, and then this happens. It's like, wait, what? Why is there always?
Yeah, I feel part of the issue is because
What is this, a telenovela? It's like the
Perhaps.
referees are just like,
I mean,
listen, how do we add drama? Or
I personally feel the
bu-
issue comes down to the English fans, or pretty much the English when it comes to their sports. They are so against anything new and want everything old. Because I think we spoke about this a while ago. Like,
tradition.
yeah, like anytime something's coming, they're like, oh, it's messing up with the traditions of the game. VAR last year, they were saying, oh, it's ruining football for me. I don't enjoy football anymore. Just a lot of this hyperbolic, over dramatic statements. Because, like, okay, let's go back in time before the offside rule came into place. I bet you as soon as they introduced the rule, people were like, oh my God, you're ruining the game. People can't score as many goals as much anymore. Blah, blah, this, blah, 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 that. When they first, I think, back in the 90s, when they introduced the back pass rule, because I remember before that, you could pass back straight to your goalie. He picks up the ball with his hand. They introduced the back pass rule. People complained. Well, after a while, they got used to it. They got used to the offside rule. So, like, anytime something new is introduced,
Well, that's true.
the English always yell the loudest, especially when it's why, like, how long have we been screaming for VAR?
Yep.
And they're like,
They're
no,
like,
no,
nah.
no. And I would say, I guess it's unfair to say just the English. I mean, it was football in general, and especially FIFA, because, like, when you have old heads at the top,
Yep.
they're usually the most resistant to change.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's true.
low-key, you can't blame them. No, this is what they're used to. They don't want to, like, stir the pot or anything. And I get that. But at the same time, it's like change is always, like, I felt like so many sports left football in the back because they
That's true.
embrace new things. And, like,
We should just blame FIFA for all these issues.
yeah, you can, because, like, watching other sports and stuff, like, how many times do you see people arguing about this rule or this decision? No, we're pretty much talking about, oh, this player didn't play well, or this happened. We hardly ever talk about the refs
No. Yep.
in any other sport, but, like, it's just in football because, like, no, like, let's help the refs, make it easier for them. It's like, nah. I remember someone said to me that, like, oh, the referee mistake is part of the fun, and I want to argue about it. I was like,
no.
no. I was like, if your team loses because of a refereeing error, that's not fun.
That's well, maybe they have a twisted sense of humor. Who knows?
Maybe they just they just didn't want the game to change in any way. They wanted it exactly how it was as when they were kids to be exactly how it is. I know some of them have their way. They'll probably go to the Premier Leagues and install all the VAR equipment and, like, say just a referee on the field. I was like, no, that's BS. I heard someone saying that they should introduce, like, a challenge system like the NFL and NBA where you can challenge a call. And I personally don't want that in football.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Well, I don't know. Well, that's the thing is we don't know until you see something implemented, right? So
I would
can't
just
say whether that would be terrible.
If
or
anyone
not.
from FIFA ever listens to this, I would say, I feel like all these rules of, like, or even in the Premier League where you can only have a certain number of subs, is like, then why the hell do I have this whole team? Let me.
Oh yeah, I don't know why they took away the 5 sub because it worked well during the.
It was the smaller teams
the
voted against
lockdown.
it, said that, like, it helps the bigger teams.
But I don't understand. But you have all these other players in your team. What advantage are you giving to the? Are you saying that the smaller teams don't have any rotation players?
No, because they feel that, like, okay, like a team, for example, like Chelsea, can take off Werner and bring on Giroud, who's still, like, a competent, or, like, take a look at a team like City, where pretty much their second team will be first team players in the other team. They feel like for them, their first team is like their only team. I was like, I'm like, let's look at the NFL. Some of them have like 80 players, and they can call on any one of them during the game because they all play for it. And that's why, like, when I first heard that, like, when a team wins the Premier League, you have to play at least 8 games to get a medal. I was like, but shouldn't everyone
Get the
associated,
opportunity? Yeah.
to, like, get that medal, even if I only played one game, like, I contributed to this team winning? Because, like, if you win a Super Bowl for an NFL team, every player gets a ring. even like that. So, and I guess I sort of understand they're like, oh, you didn't do enough, but I was like, but you
it's
still
like
did something.
I'm in the team.
I'm in the team. We train every day. It's like
I did something.
Like you did something. It's like
I helped prepare. Like I did something. Yeah, it's right. It doesn't make any sense to me because I thought it worked very, very well during that period that coaches were able to, you could effectively change the game with more than just having three subs.
I felt like it allowed for more tactical changes and stuff because now that they've brought it back down to like, just the 3 subs and it's not just the 7 players on the bench rather than the 9. I was like, no, like you've reduced that element of like completely like changing an entire. But and they had a rule where like you could only substitute players in at a certain time, which to sort of so that no one could just bring in 5 players at once and change it. I thought that was dumb, but okay, whatever. But still, I was very disappointed with that. But like I said, it's not tradition. Let's go back to 1994. It was tradition then. You could bring in 5. It's
another rule that they changed.
Hi, Gina here, one half of Football by the Sea. Thanks for watching this video. If you want to see more, check out our channel. And if you enjoy the content we're putting up, leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Everyone counts. If you want to listen to the full podcast, check out the links in the description. You can find us on pretty much every podcast platform out there. Thanks again for watching. Take care.